It's time for another speculation as to what games Sony will be releasing with the PS Plus Essential and Extra subscriptions in October. Let's start by looking at what we've been given away in October in previous years. In 2023, the Callisto Protocol, Farming Simulator 22, Weird West. In 2022, Hot Wheels Unleashed, Injustice 2, Super Hot. In 2021, Hell Let Loose, PGA Tour 2, K21, Mortal Kombat X. Again, I see in the old giveaways that there were races, and the fresh ones still don't have them. That's why I'm betting on Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. The first part was given away in Extremis, the second part was released in October last year, and it is unlikely that now at least somehow sold well, and the shortage of races in the subscription can also push Sony to give away this game. The second game, which can be given away if we rely on the past distributions, is Golf PGA Tour 2K24. Well, we get sports simulators quite often, and golf has been an essential twice, so I believe that Sony may well come round to give away this great game. You could also stick Farming Simulator 23 or 24 in here as well. Now let's look at the games that will be released on the same day that PS Plus games become available for download. For Essential, it's 1 October, and Master Detective Archives Raincoat Plus is releasing on that day. It's a dark fantasy detective game set in a town isolated from the rest of the world where it rains constantly. The protagonist, Yuma, comes to his senses at a train station and realizes that he can't remember anything, even his name, which he learned from a train ticket. He gets on this train, which is carrying super detectives from the World Detective Organization, but suddenly someone starts mysteriously burning them, and Yuma realizes that he is also a detective, and if he doesn't find the culprit, such a death will befall him too. As for Extra, it will release games on the 15th of October. The first such game is called Neva. In it, a young girl named Alba, along with a wolf cub, will have to travel through a once beautiful world that is slowly crumbling around them. Alba and the wolf cub learn to act together, and gradually, an imposing beast with a complex character will grow out of the naughty little boy. Developers Neva have also created projects such as Arise, A Simple Story, and Grizz, which were very well received by critics and players. The second game that is also coming out on the 15th of October is called New World Aeternum. It is an MMORPG about the colonization era of America, but with a dash of magic. The player creates his character, reaches level 10, and joins the faction on the side of which he will fight the whole game. Also here, you can get a place to live, unite in guilds with other players, go to dungeons and raids, mining, crafting, trading, and do other MMORPG schneemy things. In general, if they gave out this game, I would be very happy to play it with you. Now let's see what games were released a year and a half ago, because these are the games that can get into the distribution, according to the documents that were stolen by hackers. April 2023. Among such projects is Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores. In DLC distribution, there is a commercial sense for Sony, as the main game was removed from the subscription, so if DLC is distributed, then to play it, the game will have to be bought. The next project is Dead Island 2. The second part of the action game with survival elements is equipped with an impressive dismemberment system, which allows you to brutally dismember zombies. Events unfold in Los Angeles, whose inhabitants have also been infected by the zombie virus. The main character will have to help the survivors, as well as contact the government to create a vaccine. Also released a year and a half ago was Bramble the Mountain King. Perhaps the giveaway of this game is the most realistic prediction. Bramble is a horror-adventure game based on Scandinavian fairy tales about a young boy who sets out to rescue his sister, who has been kidnapped by a horrible troll. The game is extremely dark and violent. In some places it reminds Little Nightmares, especially at the beginning of the passage, but the further you go, the more you realize that Little Nightmares is just children's fun. I'll add one more game to my prediction for this reason, and because it's from Electronic Arts, and their games are often included in PS Plus, it's called Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The events of the sequel unfold 5 years after the original game. The protagonist, Cal Kestis, is still being persecuted by the Empire, and together with his group, he continues to explore the galaxy and hone his skills to challenge the dark side. The combat and role-playing components of the game have been greatly expanded. Cal has acquired new weapons, abilities, and fighting stances, each of which has its own pumping tree. And to know what games will be officially added to Essential in October, as well as games that will be added to and will leave the catalog extra, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.